Please help me. Won't do any good. I'm as good as dead anyway. I wouldn't go swimming if I were you. The water isn't pleasant. You look like a man with a lot of questions, so I'll help you out.
Sure.
The corporation that runs this place is gonna ship that shit, turn this city into a war zone all over the world. I know, I used to work for them as an engineer. I thought I ranked pretty high, not high enough to warn what they were gonna do. They didn't even tell me that the water was poison. If you had any brains, you'd get out. But you look like the kind of person who wants to do what's right. Go to the chemical plant and destroy it, and every one of them. Stop this before this gets out of hand and kills us all. The chemicals. Stop the chemicals. Kill them all.
Already interrupted your little speech there. I suppose you're already dead. Yeah. Well, I don't really want to do what's right. All I want to do is just simply get out of this mess. But I suppose there is no other way. Huh. Anyway, let's grab some equipments from this little shack here. One of the few rare times where the crates here actually contain things. Contain useful things anyway. Let me just use one of these to full up. There we go. Thank you.
Hey, don't shoot, moron. I'm on your side. Come on, we gotta get to the chem plant. What are you waiting for? Move it!
First of all, you came out of nowhere and you just suddenly ordered me around like so. Also, you have literally no name, no character building whatsoever, and you die quite all of the sudden too. So, yeah, I generally couldn't care less about you, really. Shall we go then? Sorry about that, had to drink some water. Anyway, back to our little progress here. Water core scuttle. The best way to get past this little area is to basically do nothing and crouch. For a while anyway. There's a machine gunner up there that'll take fire on you, open fire on you, and there's this guy who just pretty much immediately destroys himself, so what a silly bunch. The one time that you need to actually do something here is when these guys appear. There we go, good. There's also this. Shoot the guy in the middle and the door opens. Continue with the crouching. Why? Because there's a whole bunch of enemies with machine guns and lasers, and I think there's a bit of a random part here where you can lose a lot of health, so... Okay, that laser thing hurts, buddy. Stop that. Okay, I can either not lose a whole bunch of health here, I just lost a whole bunch of health. That is so bloody fantastic. You could have smoothed that little path, smoothed the path a little bit, but I guess you're just gonna leave it at that. You either lose health from colliding with the boat itself, or you lose health from falling damage, because the boat kind of just goes downwards, resulting in you losing health from falling down. Which I think is always pleasant. Just always pleasant. This stupid boat part, I swear. It's always so random. Like, I think I went through this boat part without losing a single health once. And other times, look at my health right now, 7342. Anyway, there's a little part here. Quite easy, since most of the enemies here look the other way. Wow. Clipping. Just fantastic. No, you're not getting anyone. Stop trying to shoot at nothing. Especially since most of the enemies here look the other way. I think in the original mod, these guys are set on some kind of scripted sequence, so they patrol around the boat. The problem is that their sequences are uninterruptible if they spot you. So basically you can go right up to them and they'll do nothing until you try to actually bother them. Then they'll actually shoot. But you can actually, in the original mod, you can just stand in front and they'll do nothing. Which I think is rather silly. Which is why in the Remod I decided to remove the whole patrol script and just let them just stand around. If you run around, they'll spot you and they'll shoot at you, basically now. Just as simple as that. The agent can spot you immediately though, through the glass. Thankfully he shuts up quite easily. Ah, the laser gun. I think I remember the laser gun of this being based from the Dark Forces model that I tampered a lot and I reskinned basically. So this, I don't really have a lot of good laser models just lying around, laser pistol models just lying around to replace the laser gun with. So I went with a model that someone did for the Star Wars test mod for Half-Life that was released a long time ago. It was pretty much a bad mod. The maps are terrible, but the code for the weapons are certainly interesting. And in one of the models lies this little thing here. Unfortunately, it uses Dark Forces textures, and those textures are quite low res. So I did some reskins, change it up, make it look as far away as possible from the repeater. Yes, there we go. There's a name. The Imperial Repeater. So yeah, that's pretty much what this model is based from. Anyway, our objective here is to find a way inside. And how do we find a way inside? By blowing up this boat. Well, blowing up the fuel tank, of course, but of course it's going to be quite slightly more trickier than that. Okay, I got it. Time to book it. If my memory serves me well, I think the original mod had it so that the explosion of the boat was caused by triggers instead of timers. So when you destroy the fuel tank and you wait here for a while, the triggers finally turn on, allowing you... And when you got here, the explosions then finally happen. Decided to change it to timers instead, so that no matter where you are, the explosions still happen anyway. Even if you're on top of the boat. So it's not as easy to get killed as before, but yeah, one wrong placement and you're dead. The path is thankfully clear though, so we can now proceed to the next area. You know, I find this little map a bit weird. Why? Because there, it just ends. That is a little short map. I wonder what's the purpose of that little map. Like, that little transition point can be just condensed into one single map. I wonder what's split into two. Anyway, this little part here. Not really any way of telling the players what to do, but I suppose player ingenuity would be able to guess to start shooting at the fan or something. Would it be nice if there's a sign here or something that says don't break or something. Or maybe there's an ammo here. That's usually a good way of telling players that they need to break something. Ammo. Just sudden ammo in the middle of nowhere. That means I need to break something. It's a real subtle hint. But I suppose health is good as well. Which I think I do need to use one. And since there's two, why not use both? There we go. Keep to the machine gun. Alright. Beyond this area should be...
What's that over there? Looks like a bomb case to me. Could come in handy.
Yes, of course. Someone would just leave a random bomb case in the middle of nowhere. Over here, of course. What a smart little smarty pants they are. Hello. Goodbye. You know, I find unfortunate that we don't get to explore this little area here with that guy. The one grunt that we spot that we couldn't possibly destroy in any way. The glass is unbreakable. And unfortunately, the laser gun does not act like Half-Life's ghost gun or tow cannon. that you can shoot through glass with. How unfortunate. Or maybe you can, I'm just being silly. No, I can't shoot. I can't shoot through that. Quite unfortunate. Ah yes, the dart gun. This shall be most useful. Why? Because it poisons the enemy that you shoot it on. So for instance, if I hit this guy in the head. Did I got him in the head? No, he's still alive. The dart gun poisons your enemies, simple as that. If you wait for a while, they'll die. But unfortunately, sometimes the dart poison can go a little bit too slow and it wears off after a while. Let me bring up my sniper again. Thank you. And there we go. Good little accuracy on my part. Okay, there's another one of those creatures that won't bother us as long as we don't shoot at it. And I think this little crate here... No, not that one. Ah, yes, that. It wasn't that crate, it was behind the container that contains something that we shall need for our next weapon pickup. The assault cannon. A weapon that is quite deadly indeed. It's basically the shotgun. Quite a long pole there. And despite the fact that that this is a canyon-ish area, there are absolutely no ambient sounds to be found in the original mod anyway. In the remod, I did a couple of ambient generics, you know, just to put in some sounds. Here, maybe may get a little bit clouded with my mic voice, in which case I apologize. You know, have I actually mentioned about the scope mechanic here? It's a bit weird, but kinda neat. Like, it doesn't work like what you expect. Usually, a scope with multiple magnification. Magnification? Sorry, I forgot the term for it. But, yes. Usually, you just press the scope button again and it'll zoom in, right? Or you use the mouse wheel. Not this mod. This mod has you use the movement keys to change the scope range. It's a bit weird when you're trying to adjust your shot, but I guess in most counter-sniping techniques, you usually most likely be in behind cover using that. So, I suppose it's alright. Anyway, shall we move on further then? Because I'm sure the next area is going to prove very useful for our counter-sniping techniques.